As we start, actually we're starting a few minutes early. I think most everybody's pretty well eating their meal. If you haven't, please continue. Don't allow me to get between you and your fork and spoon. But we'd like to take a few moments and talk about a few things. And you know what we're here for, obviously, is to have a good time as a family of employees and directors, to enjoy the fellowship in an atmosphere away from the workplace, even though we're here in the building. But it gives us a chance to visit, enjoy each other's company, laugh, and hopefully tonight we'll get a chance to laugh a good bit. From what I hear, that may be possible.
No, right?
But I would like to say, you know, we are here to celebrate safety as well as wellness. Now, we put those two things together because we feel like that obviously we need a safe workforce, and we promote that. But we also feel like that healthy employees are also going to do a better job, and more than likely will do a better job at being safe. So they go hand in hand. We'd like to start tonight not necessarily talking a little bit about safety, but there's a few employees in the audience, and Mr. Lucius Atkins, if you would be so kind as to come on down. Here he is in the front already. We have, over the last few years, provided service awards for our employees. We do this on a 5-year increment basis. And tonight we have 5 employees who are at that point in their careers. And so we're going to bring you down front, and if you will, we're going to start with the youngest employed, not necessarily by age, but the fact that they only have, starting with 5 years, and we're going to work our way up. We do have anything from 5 years to 30 years. And if you feel like that you've been here longer than that, you can raise your hand, and we'll be glad to talk about that afterwards. But, you know, these people, well, every employee here is very, very important to this organization. And I'd be foolish if I didn't recognize that. Because the employees of Mitchell EMC make this organization great. It gives great customer service to our membership and keeps them happy.
Yes.
And that is very, very important. So tonight we're going to recognize the 5 employees, and after that, if you will, please stay up here. We want to get a group picture. I think you'd rather do it now than wait till the end of the program when you might be wanting to go home and then have to reassemble. So if you'll just stay here for just a moment, since there's only 5 of you, we'll get it done. Then I'm going to ask Lucius if he'd mind saying a few words as chairman of our board, you know, to address us here in this audience. Then we'll talk a little bit more about safety from my perspective, and then we'll get down to the real business of the night, which is the entertainment. So, without further ado, if I can have Vincent Trueblood come to the front. Vincent has been with us for 5 years. All right. Next is Lisa Powell. Lisa has been here twice as long as Vincent, 10 years. Okay, now we're moving on up to the 15-year mark, and we have 2 employees. Vicki Adams. And I believe Jody McCarty. Where's Jody at? Come on down, Jody. Let's see, is that 5? Oh, that's just 4. Okay. Well, we've got no 20-year and no 25 years. But we do have a person who has reached the 30-year pinnacle. Wow. Beth Williamson. Beth. I'm not sure if she's produced bills for 30 years, but she's one of the most important things that happens every day, because without her, we wouldn't have the cash to pay us. And we appreciate that very much. At this time, I'm going to let Lucius say a few words. Y'all, have y'all gotten a picture? Y'all smile, bunch up, and look pretty.
One more.
Y'all don't mind, I'm going to hide behind this podium. I was thinking today when somebody takes on a project, I know in my case and a lot of your cases, you spend a lot of time researching. You used to go to the library and study up. Now we go to our computers, and you go around and find people that maybe could help you with it, and you lay in bed at night and worry about it and wonder what to do, and you finally do all your homework and you do what it is you needed to do, and it turns out real good. And somebody says, "Boy, you're lucky." You're a lucky son of a gun. Haven't you heard that before? And I thought about that this afternoon. You know, if you do what y'all do, and you have 85 people doing it, and you do it 365 days without a lost time injury, there is some luck involved. There's definitely some luck involved. But there is also some pride. Pride in yourself, pride in your workmanship, pride in the job that you do. There's dedication to Mitchell EMC, dedication to the consumers, the owners of Mitchell EMC, to see to it that they get their service and it's reliable, and that our service is second to none, and it is second to none. And professionalism, professional pride, using the ability that you were born with, using the ability that you gained through training, and doing your job as a professional, and teamwork. You can't do what y'all do it safely, do it well, without teamwork. And I've seen y'all work in Becker County and other places, and you do work as a team, and that's wonderful. And you didn't come to hear me. I just want to tell you on behalf of the board, thank you for what you do for Mitchell EMC, and well done.
Okay, I've got till 7:30. For the employees, they know that can happen. You know, many times I get in front of the group and I'll tell them, "Guys, I really don't have anything to talk about." 45 minutes later, they're asking me to sit down. I promise you I will not be that long, so that we can go ahead and get on with the show. But there are a few things that I do want to say. Mr. Lucius said it very well. You know, kudos to everyone here. Regardless of the job you do, some may be more, I won't say important than others, because I guarantee you, and I made this comment to the folks, it's been a month or so ago. You know, I was out here a while back with some health issues and missed a board meeting and was out for a week or so and having some surgery. And, you know, I know people probably missed me. I hope they did. But nothing stopped running. But Carl was gone for a week. The pine cones piled up out front. Everything that you could imagine could be visibly seen because he wasn't here. It's important, from whatever job you hold, right on through the organization, every job is important. and it takes them all to make it work. We all have to work safe. It doesn't matter if we sit behind a desk or not. We can still trip over a cord, or we can twist our ankle in the parking lot if we're not looking where we're going. So anything can happen. So we teach and we preach. Charles does a great job as our safety director, and I would like for y'all to, if you will, give him a round of applause for what he does. He told me he was going to be in the background. He didn't want anything to be said, but you know, he does a great job to promote safety, to continue to do the things that we need to do from a safety perspective. We all have to work safely. When we're working around electricity, something that you can't see, we have to be careful. We have to know what we're doing. And we have to do it the right way. And so, you know, it's very important. And I tell the employees in safety meetings, the most important thing is that you go home this afternoon, because the people sitting next to you and around these tables are the ones that are expecting you to come home. We expect you to go home as well. But we can be reminded of the times when things may not work out quite that well. And we had an incident earlier this year, or last year, with our contractor. And that issue shook us all up because he came into contact. Fortunately, the young man lived and survived. But, you know, it caused me to stop and think, had that been one of y'all? You know, fortunately for me, but unfortunately it happened. But you get to thinking, what would you do? What would you say? What can you say? It is very important, folks. Safety is a major important part of what we do. I'd rather be a little slower and safe than to be a little quicker and take some chances. And that's just the way it is. That's why we preach safety. That's why we have safety banquets. That's why we do safety every month. We cannot afford to not keep it in the front of your mind. With that being said, we have some numbers that I'd like to throw out at you. If I can read them out here. But we have reached more than 1 year with a no lost time accident. Now, as of today, and I know Charles may have these numbers, we have reached, as an organization, over 390 work days. That's a great... That is through today. We got till midnight, but that is through today. We do have, broken down by districts. Obviously, Camilla would be the 390. Albany is upwards near 700, which means almost 2 years or so. And I think that deserves a round of applause as well. The folks up in Sylvester have a number that I think is maybe almost, it's not impossible to reach because they're there. But it's over 1,600 hours, or 1,600 days, excuse me. And a few years ago, we did something was special for them. And I think tonight it's very important that we do something special for our entire organization. I think that it's a great opportunity. Regardless of anything else, we have made it a year with working as safely as we possibly can. Now that doesn't mean that people didn't stub their toe or get a paper cut or something like that. But what it does mean is that we did not have any catastrophic accidents that caused employees to miss work, and that we could work around it and worked it in such a way that we were able to keep them on the job. So, you know, we have little issues, but they're issues that we can manage. I think that safety, again, is one of the most important things that we do. And I could preach that all day long. But I just want to tell you, the employees, how much I appreciate what you do. You make my job easy, and that is a great thing when you're in my position. And so, you know, I want to thank the families, the spouses, the children, because they see daddy, they see mama leave the house when the weather's probably at the point where nobody wants to be leaving the house. And they go to work. And they may work day and night for a couple of days, whatever the case may be, without sleep to get the job done. That's when we probably need to guard ourselves the most, because when we get tired, we get sleepy, we've worked all night and all day, that's when we tend to, not necessarily do we cut corners, but we sometimes get a little too tired. We try to keep an eye on that, and we try to make sure that we're doing everything as safely as possible. And I just want to, you know, again, say thank you, because our job is to keep the lights on. And there are times when the lights go out, and we have to deal with that. If it's a day, 2 hours, 3 days, whatever it takes, everybody here does it. I have yet to hear anybody complain about having to work through that type of event. So, you know, that's what makes this organization great. It's you. Because, you know, y'all are here to do the job. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate and how proud I am to be a part of this family and this organization.